Let's start 7th Science, chapter number 17. Name is Forest, our lifeline. In this chapter, we will learn about the forest, and also we will learn here about the variety of animals and plants that lives in a forest, how they lead life, and what is the food chain is being happened in a forest. We will also discuss here, and what is the importance of forest. We will also discuss here. All the topic we will discuss here one by one. Okay. Then this chapter is started from that instance when a boy named is Bozu entered in the park with his children, and in a corner of a park, a Professor Ahmed, that he was the scientist of society, was seated there and looking very exhausted because of he participated the golden jubilee ceremony of the society. Children were very eager to know about the golden jubilee ceremony of the society. Then children comes and seated near the Professor Ahmed and started to raise questions on that topic. Then Professor Ahmed said to the children that the unemployment was the burning issue of that ceremony, and some participated were arguing about the setting up of a factory that by cleaning of the forest that is near the township. But some participated was started to objected that it is not right, it is not fair. Then children was very eager to know about the forest. Why? Some participants were objected this. Then Professor Ahmed said to children that actually forest serves as a green lungs and a water purifying system in our nature. That's why we should save to the forest. Then children started to raising a question about the forest. Then Professor Ahmed said to the children that in next morning we will go for a forest trips, and there we will do a study about variety of animals and plants that lives in a forest and how they lead life there, and what is the importance of a forest in our usual life also we study here. Then this chapter is started from 17.1 that it is showing here visit to forest. Then on a Sunday morning, the children packed few things like as a knife, hand lens, and sticks, notebooks, and walked together through a forest trip. Through a forest trail near a village. On their way, Tibu, a same age group boy named is Tibu, also met with them, and he started to walking along with the children for having a herd of cattle for a grazing. And with the Tibu, his aunt was also going. After some minutes, his aunt is changing his path. Up now, Tibu was only a boy that he was very inside, very smart, was started to work with the children and Professor Ahmad. After when they went in a forest, firstly Tibu is, is saw the upper view of a forest from a land. Then all the children was very amazed to take a view of whole forest. Then at a glance, when they entered in a jungle, in a forest, Tibu gives a signal to the children for a keep silence. Then all the children raises the question here, then why when we entered in a jungle, some monkey is climbed uppermost branch of the tree and the bird is started to singing. Then Tibu said that these animals gives the warning to another animals for coming animals. After that they started, the Tibu also said to the children that boar, pigeon, jackals, porcupines, elephants lives in a deep area of the forest. Then children said about the how they lives in a deep forest. Then Professor Ahmad said to the children, don't go too deep in a forest because it may be that your lives would be in danger. Then you have already knows about in a class 6 about, and you have already studied in the textbook of class 6 about the carnivorous animals. They eat meats, they are not they eat to herbivorous animals. Then they are very dangerous. After that, the children started to looking of some type of variety of plants such as seams, neem, sesame, samals, and plus such type. Tibu was identifying to the children about such type of plants. Then then Professor Ahmad said to the children, make a tables in your notebook about which things you use from a forest. Then children jot down and noted in his notebook in their notebooks about the some type of object they get from a forest, such as matchbox, plywood, fuel, boxes, paper, and furniture they get from a jungle, from a forest. Okay, then what happened? The one children named is Salah wondered who would have planted these trees? Then Professor Ahmed said to Salah that actually these plants having a rich quantity of seed, and when it's come down in a flood of forest, here these seeds gets the favorable and suitable condition of the growing, and they grow. Some tree is long, some is short, and some is hard and sharp. That tree is long and big, and its branchy part of the tree above the stem is called the crown of the tree. Then you can see here that this is the crown of the tree. And when you look at a forest from a broad view, you will find out a good means a big and a broad roof is created over the forest. What is this? Actually, Professor Ahmed added here that it is a canopy, and a tree is a canopy that you can see here. This is a canopy, and the layer that you can find out below the canopy is called understory, and a lower layer of the forest is a herb and shrub. Then these are the variety of forest, and these are the different type of green view you can find out in a forest. Actually, different type of forest have a different type of plants and trees. Okay, then after that, the few children was busy to watching a beautiful butterfly that fluttering here and there, that were fluttering there here and there. Then Professor Ahmed said to the children to go and get a close view of the butterfly. When they found out that some seeds is cleansed in their hair and on a dress. Actually, this is a way of depressure of a seed in a forest. Okay, some after that they come across a numerous insect, a spider, a squirrel, and ants, and the various other animals on the bark of the tree. Bark means the uppermost layer of the tree is called the bark of the tree. Then they started to watching such type of different type of insects. After that, what happened? And then they get a floor of the forest is full of a decaying material of the plants and dead matter. And then Professor Ahmed said to the children that these you take a lens and take a close view of such type of dead and decaying materials of the plants and animals. When the children takes the view, then they find out that the teeny type of insect and mushrooms is theirs. Then Professor Ahmed said to the children, actually, this microorganism is called a decomposer. What they do? They convert the dead and decaying materials of the animals and plants into a humus. Actually, you already know about the humus. Humus is the uppermost layer of the soil that is full of nutrients for the plants, and this decomposer gives the suitable and rich nutrients to the plants. That's why in a forest a plant grows very quickly, and these plants is eaten by a insect, and this insect is eaten by a frog, and this frog is eaten by the snake and eagles and carnivorous. And again, when the carnivorous is tired, the decomposer convert the dead body of carnivorous into a humus, and this cycle is continuously goes in a forest. That's why nothing of the forest is waste. Okay, and even you know that about the autotrophs. Autotrophs, plants is autotrophs, and autotrophs makes the foods in the process of photosynthesis and release oxygen, and animals take the oxygen and release carbon dioxide. This balance is continuously goes in environment. That's why the forest gives the rich environment to the plants for making carbon dioxide and oxygen. Then this balance is continuously goes in our environment. Means forest is also gives the suitable and favorable conditions to environment for balancing such type of phenomena. Okay, then after that the children also very amazed to see that some tribe, many peoples lives in a forest. Actually they belongs to a tribes, and they find his their food, shelter and medicine through the forest. They knows about the traditional way of making a medicine through a plant. Then it is also very uh, important things that is seen by the children. Again, what Bhoju see, he looks that whenever he was drinking water from a small stream, he saw a deer is running here and there, and at a glance they goes and disappear in bushes. It was the wonders for Boju and for his friend. And after that, what Boju saw, he looks that hips of dropping of hip the dropping of animals. Then Boju asked the question from Professor Ahmed about that dropping. Then Professor Ahmed said to Boju that these the forest officer recognized such type of droppings for persons of dropping and footprints for the persons of the animals. Now Bozu called everyone and saw them a large decaying heap of animals dropping. Several beetles, several beetles and grubs were feeding on a heap, and bunches of seedlings was sprouting. These seedlings are the herb and serve. Then now this is a time for it. Then Professor Ahmad lastly said to the children that the forest is a dynamic living entity and full and full of life and vitality. Means the forest is having a dynamic life, variety of plants and animals lives there, and they are running here their lives very happily there. Now it was the time of afternoon and children want to go their home. Then at a glance, then the Tibu said to the children, I will show you another route for going back. Then the children started to go on the back of the Tibu. Whenever they were going, the rain is starting. The rain is started. Then the children was very amazed to see that. What they see, the forest floor is not directly heated by the raindrops because they are coming through the canopy. After that they comes in under storage, and after that the raindrops come on the leaf of the surf and herbs. Means they are preventing the vistas washing of the soil. Then this is the very, then the Bozu was thinking that this type of phenomena if happened in our township, then all the road would be flooded, would have flooded to the drain of the water. Then Professor Ahmed said to Bozu that forest is also serve and also prevent the washing of the soil. Then lastly the Bozu and his friend started to go back in his township. When they were coming, the Bozu village comes in the way. Then some people come and started to share the experience about the forest. Then they said that now due to overgrazing of animals and indiscriminate falling of tree is make the forest on the verge of disappearing, and construction of road, building, industry development and increasing the demand of wood created for clearing of the forest, and that's why the forest is not regenerated by the peoples. That's why we are not happy. And lastly, the Professor Ahmed said to children to jot out the importance of forest in their notebook. Then lastly, they write down the importance of forest. Children write down in their notebooks. What they write? They write if forest is disappear, the amount of carbon dioxide in air will increase, resulting in the increase of earth temperature of earth would be increased. Second, in the absence of the tree, plant and animals will not be get of food and shelter. Third, in a absence of tree, the soil will not be hold water, which will cause of the flood, and deforestation will endanger our life and environment. Think what could can be do to for a preserve of forest. Then forest is very important for us. It is not only gives us many medicines, furniture and many things, but also its balance to the water tables, it balance to our environment also. Then that's why the forest is a green lungs and we should save to a forest. Then I think that you have understood all the topic that is related to this chapter. And if you have any doubt, write in a comment box. I will give a reply as much as possible. Okay. Now our next topic, our next chapter is what is the question answer of this exercise. Then explain how animals reveling in the forest help it grow and regenerate. Then how it grow and regenerate? You know very well that the humus, that is animals, how developing the forest, how helps to the forest. But animals, microorganism makes the humus, you know very well, and animals also live in the forest and the food chain is created there. Okay, explain how forest is prevent floods. You know that forest prevent the attack of the raindrops, hitting of the raindrops directly in a floor, that prevent the flood, because the under every layer of the forest leaves prevent the soil erosion also, and it is prevent the flood. What are the decomposer? You know that some microorganisms that convert the dead and decaying material of animals and plants into a humus is called a decomposer. Name any bacteria or fungi of them. What do they do in a forest? They convert the dead and decaying material of plants and animals. Explain the role of forest in maintaining the balance between oxygen and carbon dioxide in a forest, in our atmosphere. Then you know that plant is autotrophic and they release oxygen when they do the photosynthesis process. Then in such times they release more and more oxygens, and you know that day by day the human is in our population is growing. Then carbon dioxide is much quantity is it, and that's why the forest makes the balance between oxygen and carbon dioxide. Explain why there is no waste in forest. Because you know that when the carnivorous diet, they are converted by decomposer in of humus, and this humus gives the rich nutrient to plants for a growing. Then what happened? The plants is eaten by herbivores and herbivores is eaten by a carnivores. This cycle is always continuously goes in a forest. Then no waste in a forest. List 4 products we get from a forest. Very easy. Furniture, matchbox, paper, fruits, medicine we get from the insect, butterfly, honeybee and bird help flowering plant in flowering plant in which you know that pollination. If for a forest is purifier of, it is a purifier of environment and balancing environment. Herbs from the lower layer in the forest, the decaying leaves and animals dropping in a forest enrich. The decaying leaves and animals dropping in a forest enrich the nutrients. Why should we worry about the condition and issue related to the forest far from us? Because they continuously deforestation of plants. The forest is disappearing and it may be the cause of the disbalancing of the environment. Explain why there is the need of variety of animals and plant in our forest. Then you know very well that why there is a need of variety of animals, because these animals is help to plant for a growing. The cloud, rain, atmosphere, you can see here that it is a figure and you make the figure from itself. You can see here level of direction of arrow, the make the direction on the arrow label the diagram using the following level. Cloud, what is this? This is a cloud, this is a rain, this is carbon dioxide, this is oxygen, this is a plant, this is a plant, okay na? This is soil. Then you know very well, then you can define here about this. What of the following is not a forest product? Kerosene is not a forest product. Which of the following is a statement is not correct? Then you know that forest protect the soil for erosion, it is right. Plant and animals in a forest are not dependent one and another. Then plants and animals is dependent to one and another, then it is a wrong. Okay, now our next question, it is microorganisms act upon the dead plants in a product as a humus. Then I think that you have understood all the topic that is related to this chapter, and I will meet with you in next class with new concept. Now I am going to wrap up my session here. Okay, thanks.